You know that weird sensation where it feels like someone's poking your hands and feet with a million tiny pins? Yeah, that one. I really need you to pause for a second because what I'm going to tell you literally changed everything for one of my patients. She got the feeling back in her hands in under 2 weeks, using something you can probably find at your local pharmacy right now. And honestly, what scares me most isn't what's happening to you right now. It's what could happen if you brush this off. Look, I'm not trying to freak you out, but ignoring these sensations isn't just about dealing with some annoying discomfort. We're talking about the very real possibility of nerve damage becoming permanent. I'm talking about suddenly losing your balance and taking a bad fall, completely losing all sensation in your fingers and toes, watching your independence slip away bit by bit. The thing is, catching this early means you actually have a shot at turning things around completely. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do that, step by step. My name's Dr. Sarah, and honestly, helping people over 60 get their health and energy back has become my life's work. What I want to share with you today is going to be specific, really specific. We're going to talk about which exact vitamin your nervous system is literally begging for right now, why it's so incredibly effective at fixing nerve problems, precisely how much you should be taking every single day, and the huge mistakes I see people making over and over again that completely sabotage their results. And real quick before we dive in, drop me a comment and let me know how old you are and where you're tuning in from. I absolutely love seeing our community spread all over the world. Honestly, your comments help me figure out what kind of content you actually want to see more of. It makes a huge difference. Are you seeing these red flags? Let's check. Okay, so I want you to really think about whether any of these things have been happening to you lately. Does that tingling sensation in your hands or feet get worse at night when you're trying to fall asleep? When you turn on the faucet, can you actually tell if the water's hot or cold anymore? Or has that become difficult? Have you noticed that buttoning up your shirt or blouse is getting harder and harder even though there's nothing visibly wrong with your hands? When you're walking around, do you feel kind of wobbly or uncertain, like you're not totally sure where your feet are going to land with each step? Or maybe you've got this burning feeling in your feet that just never seems to go away no matter what you try? If even just one of these rings true for you, your nerves are basically screaming at you that something's wrong, and trust me, this is not something you want to ignore. Here's what's actually going wrong inside your body. Let me break down what's happening inside you right now, because once you understand this, everything's going to make so much more sense. Think of your nerves like they're electrical wires running all through your body. They're constantly sending signals from your brain out to your fingers, your toes, literally everywhere. But here's the part that nobody really talks about, and it's kind of important. These nerve fibers have a protective covering on them, almost exactly like how electrical cords have that plastic coating on the outside to protect the wires inside. As we get older, especially once we hit our 60s, our bodies start losing the ability to keep that protective layer in good shape. It just breaks down faster than we can repair it. And when that protective coating starts falling apart, your nerves get damaged and exposed, and they start sending these crazy mixed signals all over the place. That's exactly where all that tingling comes from. That's why you've got numbness. That's why there's this awful burning pain that keeps you awake half the night. Your nerves are literally misfiring because they don't have that protection anymore. Now, this is where things get really interesting. And I mean actually life-changing interesting. There's one particular vitamin that your body absolutely must have if it's going to repair and maintain that protective nerve coating. Without this vitamin, it doesn't matter what else you do. Your nerves simply cannot heal themselves. But when you give your body enough of this vitamin, you can actually start reversing damage that's already been done. Pretty amazing, right? I'm talking about vitamin B1. You might have also heard it called thiamine. And look, this isn't just some trendy supplement that everyone's hyping up this week. This is real, legitimate science that I've seen work in my actual practice with real people. Real results I've watched happen. I've personally watched some incredible turnarounds. At people who were dropping their coffee cups every single morning because their hands just wouldn't work right. They got their full strength and coordination back. Patients who told me they couldn't even feel their feet touching the ground when they walked became steady and confident again, going out for their daily walks without being terrified of falling. I've seen people who genuinely believed their best years were completely behind them get back to the things they love, gardening in their yard, cooking full meals for their family, even going dancing again. And here's the thing. These aren't some rare miracle cases that only happen once in a blue moon. This happens all the time, consistently, when people actually address their B1 deficiency the right way. The honest truth is that your body is absolutely incredible at healing itself. So it wants to fix what's wrong. Your nerves are literally designed to repair themselves when you give them the support they need. They're not broken forever. They're not beyond saving. They just need the right fuel to work with, and B1 is exactly that fuel. Think about it like this. Imagine you've got a car, right? And what if you just never ever put oil in the engine? Eventually, that engine's going to completely seize up and die. All those metal parts grinding against each other, wearing down until nothing works anymore. Well, B1 is basically the oil for your entire nervous system. It keeps everything running smoothly and efficiently, protects those super delicate nerve fibers, and makes sure all the messages from your brain can travel to every single part of your body without getting scrambled or interrupted. When you're running low on B1, it's like trying to operate your whole nervous system on an empty tank. The messages get all confused and mixed up. The signals start firing randomly when they shouldn't. That's why you get those pins and needles sensations that drive you absolutely crazy. Your hands feel numb right when you're trying to do something simple like open a jar or write your name. Your feet feel like they're not even attached to your body anymore, like you're walking around on thick wool socks all day long. Walking becomes genuinely scary because you can't feel where your feet are actually landing. You start bumping into door frames and furniture because your body's internal navigation system is completely scrambled and confused. But when you finally give your body the B1 it's been desperately crying out for, the healing process can actually start almost right away. Your body begins rebuilding that protective coating around each nerve. The signals start traveling cleanly and clearly again without any static or interference getting in the way. The numbness starts fading, little by little, week after week. The way patients describe it to me is really touching. They say it feels like being themselves again for the first time in years, like someone finally flipped the light switch back on after they'd been stumbling around in complete darkness. The shocking truth about B1 deficiency, now you're probably sitting there thinking, well, I eat pretty healthy and I take care of myself, so I'm probably getting enough B1 from my diet, right? Here's the truth that's going to shock you, and it's something most doctors never even mention to their patients. A huge number of adults over 60 are actually deficient in B1, and most of them have absolutely no idea until the nerve damage gets really serious. Research studies have shown that as many as 1 out of every 3 older adults isn't getting enough B1 just from their diet alone. And those numbers get dramatically worse if you're taking certain medications that are super common. Why does this happen so often? There are 3 main reasons that almost nobody talks about, and understanding them could literally save you years of completely unnecessary suffering. First reason. As our bodies age, our stomachs produce way less acid than they used to. That means we can't absorb B1 from our food nearly as well as we could when we were younger. Even if you're eating all the perfect foods in exactly the right amounts, your body might only be absorbing a tiny, tiny fraction of the B1 that's actually in that food. A healthy person in their 30s might absorb somewhere around 60 or 70% of the B1 from what they eat. But after you hit 60, that can drop down to only 20 or 30%. Same exact diet, same exact food, same portion sizes, but your body just can't extract it and use it effectively anymore. It's frustrating, I know. Second reason, a whole bunch of really common medications actively block B1 absorption or drain your body's existing reserves. If you're taking medications for diabetes, especially metformin, which is super common, or if you're on water pills for managing blood pressure, those can absolutely drain your B1 levels over time. It happens silently and gradually. And some medications for heartburn do the exact same thing without anyone warning you. These medications might be helping one health problem, but they're quietly creating another problem that nobody's bothering to check for. I've had patients who've been on these medications for 10, 15 years, sometimes even longer, and nobody ever once checked their B1 levels. Not even once. They develop this progressive nerve damage slowly over months and years, and everybody just assumes it's normal aging. They think it's inevitable, but it's not. It's actually a fixable vitamin deficiency that could have been caught early. Third reason, even when you're eating foods that are naturally rich in B1, things like whole grains, beans, lean pork, modern food processing strips almost all the B1 right out of most foods. White bread, white rice, eat processed foods in general, they're essentially empty of B1. Your body's working really hard trying to get nutrition from these foods, but it's getting almost nothing useful in return. Let me tell you about Robert. I want to share a real example that really drives this point home. I had this patient named Robert who was 71 years old, and honestly, he was incredibly health conscious. This guy walked every single day without fail, ate tons of vegetables, completely avoided junk food. He did literally everything that doctors tell you to do. He followed all the rules. But he came into my office complaining about this numbness in his feet that was getting worse and worse over time. He told me it felt exactly like walking on really thick socks all the time. He couldn't feel the gas pedal or brake pedal when he was driving his car anymore. He was absolutely terrified that he might have diabetes complications or some serious circulation problems developing. We ran a full panel of blood work to check everything. And guess what? His B1 levels were dangerously low. When I asked him about what medications he was taking regularly, he mentioned he was on a diabetes pill and a water pill that he'd been taking consistently for years. Those medications had been quietly draining his B1 reserves the entire time, and nobody had ever warned him this could happen. Nobody had ever checked his levels even once. We got him started on proper B1 supplementation immediately. Within just 3 weeks, 21 days, he called me up and was practically crying tears of joy on the phone. He said he could actually feel his feet again. He could feel the ground beneath him when he walked. Yet he could feel the pedals in his car. He felt stable and confident for the first time in months and months. He told me it was like somebody had finally turned the lights back on inside his body after being in complete darkness. That conversation was really the moment when it hit me how many people are out there suffering completely needlessly. They're walking around with dangerously low B1, experiencing this progressive nerve damage, and nobody's connecting these incredibly simple dots. They just keep suffering day after day, thinking it's just inevitable aging when there's actually a straightforward solution sitting right in front of them. Why time really matters here. If you're over 60 and you're experiencing any kind of tingling, any numbness, any burning sensation, or any weakness in your hands or feet, you absolutely need to understand that every single day that goes by with low B1, your nerves are suffering more and more damage. Damage that happens early can be reversed pretty quickly, sometimes within just a few weeks. But long-term damage? That takes months to heal, and sometimes it can't be fully reversed at all. Time genuinely matters here way more than most people realize. It's not just your nerves. Here's something else that's absolutely critical to understand. Low B1 doesn't just mess with your nerves. It affects your energy levels throughout the day, your mood and emotional state, your memory and mental clarity, and your physical balance. Some people walk around feeling constantly exhausted and drained, and they just blame it on getting older when really they just need more B1. Some people feel mentally foggy and forgetful and start worrying about dementia or Alzheimer's when they simply need this one essential vitamin. It's that simple sometimes. Exactly what you need to do. Pay close attention. Now let me tell you exactly, step by step, what you need to do. Pay really close attention here because these details matter a lot, and getting this right is the difference between success and total disappointment. Step 1. Get the right form of B1. This is absolutely crucial, so listen carefully. Not all B1 supplements are created equal, not even close. You need to look for one very specific form of B1 called benfotiamine. Regular thiamine gets broken down super quickly in your digestive system before it can actually help your nerves in any meaningful way. But benfotiamine? It stays in your body way longer and works significantly better for repairing nerve damage. It's specifically designed to reach your nerves exactly where they need it most. When you go to the pharmacy or when you're shopping online, pick up that supplement bottle and read the label really carefully. Look for the word benfotiamine, spelled exactly like this. B-nimbutamine, if the label just says thiamine, without getting specific about which form it is, it'll still provide some benefit, but benfotiamine is far, far more powerful for actual nerve healing. Don't try to save a few dollars here. Your nerves deserve the absolute best support you can give them. Step 2, get the right dosage amount. For actual nerve repair and healing, I recommend taking between 150 and 300 milligrams of benfotiamine every single day. So that's the therapeutic dose that's been shown to be effective for healing damaged nerves. Here's some good news that'll make you feel better. B1 is what's called water-soluble, which means your body only holds on to what it actually needs and safely eliminates everything else through your urine. You literally cannot take too much of it. There has never, ever been a documented case of anyone overdosing on B1. Not one. If your deficiency is really severe or your symptoms are particularly intense and bothersome, start with the full 300 milligrams. If your symptoms are relatively mild, 150 milligrams might be enough to do the job. But honestly, most people over 60 who are experiencing noticeable nerve symptoms really need the full 300 milligrams to see meaningful, lasting results. Step 3. Take it at the right time every single day. Take your B1 supplement in the morning with your breakfast. Never, ever on an empty stomach. B1 actually provides energy to your body, so morning is definitely the best time. If you take it late at night, there's a good chance it might interfere with your ability to fall asleep. Take it along with a meal that has at least a little bit of healthy fat in it. Things like eggs, avocado, or nuts work great, because the fat actually helps your body absorb and use the vitamin much more effectively. Put the bottle right next to your coffee maker or right on your breakfast plate, so it's literally impossible to forget about it. Make taking it part of your standard morning routine, just like brushing your teeth or making your coffee. Set an alarm reminder on your phone if you need to. Because consistency is absolutely everything when it comes to getting results. You need to take this every single day without missing doses. Your body is constantly using B1 throughout every hour of the day and night. If you only take it sporadically or whenever you remember, you're going to get sporadic, inconsistent results. Miss 3 or 4 days in a row, and your progress is going to slow way down or even reverse completely. Think about it like watering a houseplant. You can't just give it one massive watering session and expect it to stay alive and healthy for an entire month. It needs consistent, daily care and attention. What you can actually expect to happen now, here's what you can realistically expect when you start taking B1 properly with the right form and the right dose every day. So during week 1, you might notice that your energy level increases before you see any changes in your nerve symptoms. A lot of patients tell me they feel way less mentally foggy within just the first few days. Their brain feels clearer and sharper. They wake up in the morning feeling actually refreshed instead of dragging themselves through the morning in a complete haze. Week 2. This is typically when many patients start feeling the very first hints of actual nerve improvement. Maybe your hands don't tingle quite as intensely when you first wake up in the morning, or your feet feel just slightly more normal when you're walking around the house. These small changes are real signs that your nerves are waking up and starting to heal themselves. Weeks 3 and 4. You'll start seeing more obvious and consistent improvements that you can't ignore. That constant tingling sensation starts to quiet down significantly. You can actually feel different textures better when you touch things. Your balance feels noticeably steadier when you're walking. You're not constantly dropping things like you were before. You feel more confident and secure moving around your house without that underlying fear. Months 2 and 3. This is when you get really significant improvement that genuinely changes your daily life in meaningful ways. By this point, most of my patients tell me they feel like a completely different person compared to when they first started. The burning sensation is either completely gone or dramatically reduced. The numbness is greatly improved or totally gone. They're doing things they couldn't do before, going back to hobbies they'd given up on. Participating in activities they'd been avoiding for months or even years. Margaret's story will break your heart, in a good way. Let me tell you about Margaret, who was 67 years old when she came to see me. She walked into my office literally in tears, and it broke my heart. She told me she couldn't feel her grandchildren's little hands when they held hers, and you could see how much that was destroying her emotionally. She was dropping things constantly. Glasses would slip right out of her hands, plates would crash to the floor. Her phone had cracked 3 separate times from being dropped. She was genuinely terrified of losing her independence completely and becoming a burden on her children and grandchildren. When she tried to walk, she felt unsteady and wobbly, like she was trying to walk on a rocking boat. She had already taken 2 bad falls within just 6 months, once in her kitchen and once in a parking lot. Her daughter had to come over to her house every single morning just to help her button up her blouse. Margaret had been a professional seamstress for 40 years of her life, creating intricate, beautiful wedding dresses, and now she couldn't even button her own shirt. She felt embarrassed, frustrated, and absolutely heartbroken. When we got her blood work back, it showed a severe B1 deficiency. Her levels were dangerously low. We started her on 300 milligrams of benfotiamine daily right away, immediately. Within just 2 weeks, literally 14 days, she could feel a real noticeable difference. Her hands felt more alive, more responsive, more like her own hands again. Within 6 weeks, she was buttoning her own shirts in the morning without needing any help from her daughter. She actually cried when she told me about it because such a simple thing that most people never even think twice about meant absolutely everything to her. It meant independence. It meant dignity. It meant being herself again. Within 3 full months, she was back to knitting and sewing again. She actually made me this absolutely beautiful scarf and told me it was her way of saying thank you for giving her back her life. But here's the thing. I always try to remind patients. I didn't give her back her life. The B1 did that. Her own body did that. All I did was point her in the right direction and give her body exactly what it needed to heal itself naturally and effectively. But Margaret had been suffering for 2 full years before she finally came to see me. 2 entire years of struggling unnecessarily, day after day. She didn't have to go through that for so long, and neither do you. But the problem is that most people simply don't know about this solution because nobody's telling them. Nobody's connecting the dots for them. 3 critical warnings. You need to know. Before we finish up here, I absolutely need to address 3 critical warnings that could seriously affect your safety and results. Warning number 1, get proper testing done. If at all possible, ask your doctor to order blood work that specifically includes B1 levels before you start supplementing. This confirms whether you're actually deficient or not and gives you a baseline to track your progress against over time. Don't just guess blindly and hope for the best. Get tested so you actually know your real starting point and can measure improvement objectively. Warning number 2, certain health conditions require medical supervision. If you have kidney problems or if you're taking multiple medications regularly, you really should talk to your doctor first before starting any new supplement regimen. For most people, B1 is completely safe and extremely well tolerated with basically no side effects at all. But if you have serious health issues, check with your doctor first just to be safe and responsible about it. Warning number 3, medication interactions are real. If you're taking diabetes medications or diuretics, water pills, those can continuously deplete B1 from your body over time. Your doctor should definitely know that you're supplementing with B1 so they can monitor your levels properly and potentially adjust your medications if necessary. Some medications and B1 can actually work against each other if they're not managed properly together. The power of B vitamins working together. Here's something really important that most people don't realize or think about. B1 actually works best when it's combined with other B vitamins, particularly B6 and B12. These vitamins work together as a complete team, supporting each other and helping each other work more efficiently throughout your entire body. Instead of just taking B1 all by itself in isolation, seriously consider taking a high-quality B-complex supplement that includes benfotiamine as the B1 source. Look for one that has at least 100 milligrams of B6 and at least 1,000 micrograms of B12 in it. This combination is especially powerful and effective for nerve health specifically and gives you the absolute best possible results in the shortest amount of time. Why I care so much about this, listen. I know exactly what it's like to watch someone you care about struggle with progressive nerve damage. It's genuinely heartbreaking to watch someone slowly lose their confidence, their independence, their ability to do the simple things they love and enjoy. That's exactly why I'm so passionate and fired up about spreading this message to as many people as possible. I want everyone to know about this. You don't have to live with constant nerve damage and pain. You don't have to just accept tingling and numbness as an unavoidable part of getting older. Your body has this incredible, amazing ability to heal itself when you give it the right tools and the right support it needs. B1 is one of those absolutely essential tools that your body desperately needs to function properly. Your complete action plan moving forward. Here's your simple, straightforward action plan starting right now. Week 1, start taking between 150 and 300 milligrams of benfotiamine every single day with your breakfast. Don't wait around. Don't put it off. Start today, like literally today. Week 2, add a high-quality B-complex supplement to your routine that contains benfotiamine along with at least 100 milligrams of B6 and at least 1,000 micrograms of B12. Take it in the morning with food, just like the B1, weeks 2 through 4. Keep a simple symptom journal to track your progress. Rate your tingling and numbness on a scale from 1 to 10 every single day. This helps you track your progress objectively and stay motivated and encouraged as you see improvement happening. Week 4. Follow up with your doctor to review your levels and assess your overall progress with new blood work. See how far you've come. Bonus tips that'll help you succeed. Here are some additional tips that'll really help you get the best results possible. Always take your B1 with food that contains at least some healthy fat. Avoid alcohol as much as you possibly can because alcohol depletes B1 from your body. Try to include B1-rich foods in your daily diet, like whole grains, beans, nuts, and lean pork. Stay well hydrated by drinking 6 to 8 full glasses of water every day. It helps your body process and use the vitamins way more effectively. This exact protocol has helped countless patients of mine reclaim their nerve health and dramatically improve their quality of life. It can absolutely help you too if you commit to it and stay consistent. I want to hear from you now. Before you go anywhere, I genuinely want to hear from you. Leave a comment down below and tell me, are you experiencing tingling or numbness right now as you're reading this? What specific symptoms are you dealing with on a daily basis? Your personal story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today to finally take action on their own health. Seriously, your comment could change someone's life. If this video helped you understand what's actually happening to your nerves and gave you a clear, actionable path forward, please give it a thumbs up so more people can find it. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because I create detailed videos like this every single week to help you successfully navigate all the health challenges that come along with aging. We're all in this together, and I'm here to help you every step of the way. Remember, your health is worth fighting for, and you deserve to feel like yourself again. Don't wait. Take action today. Your nerves will thank you.